I'm Bill Lancaster, and I'll be your host for this video on turning what looks like sandblasting using a drill and a wire brush. It's kind of an unusual technique that I like to do, but I'll show you what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to just turn the camera around so you can see. But I'm going to be using this drill with a wire brush in it for that part, and I'm going to be doing it on this ash bowl. So you see this ash bowl is turned very nicely. I've got it pretty smooth here, and you'll see that the actual, you can see the profile of it, it goes perfectly from here across the bead and across the top, and it's all in one plane, one curved plane, which is what you want. And I'm going to be, I haven't even sanded this thing yet. I've just turned this with my 40/40 gouge. I really like the surface. It's about as well as I've ever done, and that's why you need to practice your bevel cut so you can learn how to do that sort of a cut without even using sandpaper. You see I've got it mounted on a tenon in the top, which is what I like to do, and I'm going to prepare this surface for the wire brush. There's only one problem with this bowl, and that is I don't like the design. I made this bead with a Sorby beading tool. It's a good bead, but I wanted that bead to stand out by itself, and so what I'm going to have to do is turn this part up to the bottom of that bead and this part down to the bottom and leave that bead alone. Now to do this, I'm going to be taking a pretty big chance. I've got this thing beautifully done. It's all perfect. I've never done one quite as well as this, so I'm going to take a chance on getting it to be better, a better design by taking another couple of cuts. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and you'll get to see me make these last couple of cuts, and whether I do it successfully or blow it, you'll see. I mean, this in my videos, what you see is what you get. So I'm not going to be giving you a lot of edited stuff. I'm going to give you the real thing. I don't do a polished video. I do a kind of a, I hope, authentic video. So what I miss in polish, I hope I make up for in authenticity. So we'll see. But I'm going to be taking a chance and doing these things, and I'm going to be attaching the camera now to a microphone mount that I've got to hold the camera, and let me try to do this cut. And then I'm going to actually turn the camera off and mask. I'm going to put a masking tape over this part of the bowl so I don't run the wire brush up into the bead and the top. I just want to do the sandblasting on the bottom part. So here we go. I'm going to try to put this camera on the mount, and we'll go from there. Hang on. While you're being moved around like this, you'll see a little bit of my shop. I've got a lathe booth set up in my garage. I used to have this lathe at the Woodworkers Guild, and I had to bring it to my house because of the COVID problem. So I'm sorry to do that, but here I am, and I'm going to try to get this thing positioned better than it was last time. Thank you for those of you who put up with me during the last video where I had this thing positioned where it would not really show the cuts. So I'm trying to do it better this time, and I think I've got that thing positioned to show the whole bottom. So put my face shield on. I'm going to blow off my face shield with the air because it's got a lot of dust on it. I've told you that I want you to watch another YouTube channel called turnawoodbowl.com. And you have to put that .com on it, I found out, to really find it. But turnawoodbowl.com, a guy named Kent does a beautiful job with these videos, and he shows you some ways to turn wood without getting what's called grain tear out. There are 7 steps, and I've taken those, and that's why this looks as smooth as it does. The last 3 steps are you turn the lathe speed up high. You want to go fast. You take thin cuts, and when we're doing that, make sure your tool is sharp. I just sharpened it this morning, so it's good. The last thing you do is you put shellac on this to kind of glue the fibers together, which I have done. I made the shellac according to the way he does it. It's a 1 pound shellac. I ordered the flakes and mixed them with denatured alcohol, and so I've done that. And so this has 1 coat of 1 pound shellac on it to kind of glue the fibers together. Now this has no sanding yet, as I have said, and so we're going to see if I can accomplish what I want to accomplish with it without messing it up further. So let's see. I'm going to put this thing on it because I want to make a kind of a little shoulder for myself right on the start of this cut. And I don't want to have to risk skating my tool in too deep. I want to just give it a little bit of a cut. So I'm going to go in with, this is a little parting tool. This is another Robert Sorby tool. I just make a little cut right about there just to give myself a little shoulder to start on. I'm lowering this. Well, I want this tool to hit on the center line right there. I'm going to turn it fast. Here we go. That's at about 1,000 to make my little shoulder cut right there. I've got to make thin cuts to accomplish what I want to do here, and so we'll see. Oh, I want to do one other thing before I get too far into this. I want to change my tool rest to the curved tool rest, which is a one-way product. I think I've told you about this before. Use a one-way tool rest, get it positioned where I'm pretty much matching that curve. I'm going to be going in at the center line or just a little bit above it, so I'm adjusting the tool rest up. Now, this is going to be the tricky part. I need to go up the side with a thin cut and not go too deep into this part. I need to not touch my bead. And if I touch the bead, I'm going to mess it up. So I'm trying hard to make a couple of little thin cuts up the side without touching that bead. And then I've got to come down from the top, 1 or 2 cuts, maybe 4 cuts. And I'll be going against the grain. I'll be going uphill that way. So that's going to be a little tricky. We'll see what I can do with it. Ready? Here goes. You get a chance to see if somebody messes up or not. And so one of the things I've learned about wood turning is half of the success is in recovery. Let's try it. Got the gouge against my side, putting it right on that little shoulder, starting to cut. That's a little too thick. I'm going a little thinner. I'm going right up there, trying to maintain the depth of the cut. I'm opening the tool a little bit. I'm swinging with it, just trying to go slow like this. I hope you can see that. I don't know, maybe on the wrong side of the bowl. Oops, I'm losing the cut. Try to pick it up again and go right on up to my bead and quit. All right, that's one of those. Let's see what it looks like. Looking pretty good. Looking very good, in fact. Okay, I've got to do another few of those. I'm going to make another little initial cut with this. That seemed to work pretty well. Now, let's go up again. This is a 40-40 gouge, which actually Harwood advocates in Stuart Batty. Push down on the tool rest, in with the right arm, and ride it up. That's probably between a 32nd and a 16th of an inch of depth of cut, and absolutely got to keep it shallow. I'm swinging with it as I go. I'm getting a little too deep. I'm going to go with it anyway because I'm into it. So I'm going to slow down. I don't want to hit that bead. Got to hold full control. Close the close the gaps a little bit at the end to make it square off against that bead. Now that's looking darn good, darn good. And I don't see any grain tear out. Since I'm going to be doing the sandblasting effect anyway, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference if I make it a little bit rough. Go a little bit closer here. Make another one of those little cuts. Here we go. Try this one more time. All right, here we go. Oh, careless cuts will get you into a mess of trouble. Okay, maintain about a 1/16 of an inch deep, swinging with it. If you don't swing, you're going to get a straight side like a flower pot. So I've got to swing with it to match the curve that's already there. I got a little bit of a ridge on it already where I just shifted my hand. So I'm going to go in here and try to go very, very slowly at the end. Close it out. Okay, now let's see how bad my little ridge is. Don't know if you can see that little ridge. It's right there. And I'm going to take it out with sandpaper, with some 100 grit sandpaper. But see, that's looking good. That's looking very nice. I went right up to the bead. I didn't hit the bead, so that part is successfully done. Now, the other part could be a bit harder. So I need to come down on it, left-handed, like this. I like the little starter cut that I made, so I think I need to do another one of those if I can. I think I can make one in the side here. I'm gonna just try it. Yeah. Now try to go down very, very thin cut, left-handed, sighting right down the bevel. Open the gouge a little bit. Oops, lost the cut. Try it again. Picked it up, and I go. Slowly. Yep, almost went over. Okay, let's do that one again. That's looking pretty good. I need to go in a little bit deeper when I get close to that bead. Okay, here we go again. Sighting down the bead. Try to ride that bevel right down there. Sighting down the bevel rather. I'm a little too deep. Just go with it. Hot chips. Go slow. Down on the two rests. In with the left arm this time. Here we go. We're making progress. Let's look at it. Yep, looking good. All right, do this a few more times. Bear with me. Okay, sighting down the bevel, right down the direction I want to go, catching in that little shoulder, and going right up. Lost it. If you learn how to pick these cuts up, you won't get those little ridges as much. Let's go very slow. Good. Now try this again. Maybe I can go a little bit deeper this time. I don't want to go too deep because I get this grain tear out, as you know. Let's go in here. I've got sighting down the bevel, picking up the little shoulder, opening up the bevel a little bit, opening up the gouge so I can go in there. Lost it, picking up it again, right up to the end, and there we go. Hot chips on my thumb. I don't have a right-handed glove handy. I'm getting a little bit of a chip out inside the groove there by the bevel. Okay, let's do this again. Sorry it's taking so long. And I didn't know it would do this. All right, here we go. Sighting down the bevel, right in the groove, and here we go. Opening up the gouge a little bit, riding it, swinging it with it just a little bit, picking up the cut. I lost it. Okay, I think I maybe 2 more of those and I'll have it done. Yeah, 2 more, probably do it. Let's see what we got here. Don't anybody tell you that wood turning doesn't require a lot of patience. I've got to go deeper. I can see this profile. I've got to go deeper toward the bead. Okay, I'm sighting down the bevel, opening up the gouge, swinging so that I can go a little bit deeper. I do not want to get grain tear out. Slow, oops, get right into the bead. Let's see what I've got here. Okay, still looking around. I don't see any. There's a little bit of tear out there, which is where you always get it. Where the grain comes this way, you're going into that grain. That's where you usually get the tear out. And let's see if I got any on the other side. Nope, I don't see it. Okay, I think maybe 1 more of those cuts. I've got to go in kind of deep. Let's do this thing again. Okay. Okay, here we go. Sight down the bevel. Right in that little shoulder. Open the gouge a little bit, swing with it. Go slow, 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 slow. Opening it. Looking good, slow, 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 slow. Stop. Okay, let's see where we are. See those little fine shavings like this? That's what you can get when you take these fast, thin cuts. Isn't that nice? Now I've got a little bit of a groove here. I'd like to kind of clean that up. So, I think I need to take 1 more cut. Dadgummit. Let's try this. And I gotta take this a little bit deeper on the bead side. Okay, here we go. See that right in the shoulder. Slowly swinging, going in kind of deep, hot shavings on my thumb, close it up. Oh yeah, we're getting much better there, much better. Let's see here what we got. I think I can clean that up with just a little bit of a scrape. Looking pretty good. Now that's a little different design altogether. Let me get my my little vortex tool. See if I can show you how to fix that. Actually, I've got this new. This is an easy wood tool. The point is not quite pointed on this thing. It's got a little bit of a rounded, turn on the end. I'm just going to turn this thing by hand. See if I can just kind of scrape that thing smooth. This one works extremely well. I like this tool. Okay, here we go. I'm getting some. Try that part again. There we go. Just a little bit of touch up here. A little more right here. And I'll try some more of that with the sandpaper, I think. Okay, all right. Now I'm going to turn you off while I put masking tape here. I'm going to put the wire brush against this part and leave the bead natural and this top part without the sandblasting, so I can paint it. It's a little different color. It's going to be a navy blue on the bottom with a lighter blue over it. You sand off the light blue, leave it in the grooves. I'll show you. And here we go. I'm going to turn you off. Bye. See you in about a few minutes. Okay, now I'm back and I want to get this thing pointed correctly. Good. Now, what we're going to do is take this wire brush on the drill, and the bow's going to be turning this way, the brush will be turning that way, opposite, and if I can work it up and down, you'll see it's going to take out the grain, the soft grain, leave the harder grain. Ash is a perfect wood for this. This is ash and it will do extremely well. So you'll see how it works in just a second. It creates a good bit of dust. I have a dust mask on, and hopefully I won't have to turn on the dust collector because it's pretty noisy. I'm going to run this about 400. Doesn't have to go as fast as we were going. That's about 448. Okay, here we go. Get myself braced against it here. I've got it at a kind of an angle. I'm bearing down on it pretty hard, trying to get that, and I can see the dust coming off of it. That's a good thing. Get that bottom edge. Get right up to that masking tape. I wish the folks who manufactured these wire brushes would make them round. They're never quite that way, and it bounces a lot. Okay, well, you can see we're making progress. I'm not sure you can see that actually or not, but I'm making some progress. I'm getting out that softer grain and leaving the hard grain. So let's do some more. Keep going off that bottom. Let's see where we are. I hope you can see that. It's taking out the softer grain now. If you look at the side of it, the profile, you might get a better look. Let's see if I can get the camera on it. I hope you can see that. That is pretty good. I might go a little bit deeper, just one more time. Okay, I think we've probably got it now. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's looking good. Now what I'm going to be doing here is put two colors of milk paint on here. And the first color I'm going to put on there is going to be a nice navy blue. And on top of that I'm going to put a lighter blue, and then I'm going to sand off the lighter blue. That'll make the navy show on these high rings and the light blue show on the low rings. So you can do this with liming wax if you want to, but navy blue on there. You have to dye the liming wax with the translucent dye to make it a lighter blue, and then put it on there, and it will go into those the softer grains, the deeper grains. And then when you rub off the liming wax on the surface, it will be in those low grains. I'm going to just take a brush and just brush out those grains as best I can. I've got a couple of brushes over here that will do that job. Here's a brass brush. Try to get all that sawdust out of there. Just to improve it a little bit. I had meant to show you one of these I had done before. I forgot to bring it out here, but you'll see as we go forward how that works. Okay, take care. That's all for now.